Hey guys, Sure Midget here doing an update video on my, what used to be Classic Army M4. I'm going to be calling it my VFC M4 as of now, because it's mainly VFC. It's a mixed match of all sorts of stuff. The only thing that's Classic Army is the outer barrel and the buffer tube, and the capsule nut, but everything else is other companies. Just go ahead and go over the upper. First of all, I don't plan on buying a second upper or building a second upper. There's no need for me to do that at all. Plus, I don't have the money to do it. I could probably find a way, but I wouldn't be able to buy plenty of other things. So the flash hider here, I've had this for a long time, say 3 years maybe. I looked on eVike and I saw that they had them, and I think they're labeled Mad Bull, so it must be Mad Bull. It's really, really old, and as you can see, there's like rust on it. I kind of like it. I don't know, it's alright. I like the look of it, but it's kind of worn with rust. I don't even know if that's rust, but it's like rust colored. It has to be rust. I could test the flash hider with a magnet to see if it's steel, and if it's steel, it's obviously rust. But I don't really mind that. And then I have the outer barrel in here, which I spray painted gray and black, so I don't know, I like the look of it. And then I have the APS key mod rail on here. It's the 12.5 inch. I have a rail on the bottom with a Magpul hand stop. And then I have an MP7 front sight up here. I need to clean this up because I did field it and there's like dust in the rails, or in the key mod holes on the rail. And then, as you can see here, it's got the 6 screws for the rail. And this one over here, I have a mount here, a sling mount, which I only have a single point sling for the mount on the back of the receiver, but I kind of want to get a 2-point sling type thing and attach it to here and back there. So that's just there for looks right now. And then I have a GMP upper here, a GMP aim point comp 2 replica. It's like the shorter type mount. It's not the extended mount that kind of extends outwards and upwards. This does not work. I don't really mind if the dot doesn't work, because most of the time in airsoft you can't get airsoft guns dialed into like dots or reticules anyways, unless you do lots of hop-up work. I'm not sure. This is like a SCAR style, but also KAC does these for PDWs and stuff. So I'm not sure where I got this or which one it is. There's no trademarks, but I actually drilled out the hole a little bit bigger so that it, so I can actually see if I actually need to use these as backups, like I can actually see, because the pinhole was it was like a pinhole. It was tiny. Again, I haven't looked at this closely, but there's like dirt, just dust. I'll need to clean that up. Anyways, there's an extended charge handle latch here. I think this is a Mad Bull charging handle. There's a dust cover in here. And the hop-up here, it's an Aries barrel, Aries hop-up, and a Lonex bucking. This is their Aries Amoeba line, so it's the Amoeba style, and you can't even buy these by themselves yet. I know somebody that works with Z-Shots, so he got me one. I paid for it, but he could get me one. And it's an Aries barrel as well, which is pretty good. It's a pretty dang good barrel. I like the crowning on the end. It's really good. And the barrel length is 12.5 inch standard length, so if you didn't get that already. The lower here has a matrix lower. Now, matrix and GMP are basically the same thing as far as externals, like their uppers and lowers. I'm not sure if matrix does the same thing as GMP internals, but I think they do. That's just kind of my guess, it's kind of an OEM type thing. It's actually GMP, but they, slap matrix on there, matrix tactical. PTE, I'm not really professional training equipment. I don't know what that means. The grip here is from a Echo 1. I don't know if it was stock. No, I don't know where I got. No, this was not stock Echo 1. I don't know. The same person that got me this hop-up unit got me this like a year before, because he said that the the other pistol grip I had was like stripped in one of these holes or something, so he slapped this on here, and I actually like it. I really do. The Magpul stock. Sorry. I don't know if this is the ACM or not. It says PTS. I think it is PTS. Magpul Industries PTS. I'm not sure if it is. Like I said, it fits this buffer tube, but it does move up and down a little bit, so it could be for a real buffer tube, but I think a real buffer tube is thinner than this, or maybe it's thicker. I don't know, but it does move just a little bit up and down. But I like stock wobble really doesn't bother me a whole lot if it doesn't make sound. This, when I'm shouldering it, doesn't really make sound. I have a GMP 10.8 to Dean's on my on the stock zip tied 2,300 milliamp. Then I have a VFC gearbox. It's got an SHS M100 spring, an Echo 1 spring guide, because the original ball bearing VFC spring guide would not want to fit in here with this M100 spring for some reason. And also, it actually gave me too high of FPS because the ball bearings gave the spring more power. So I had to just take that out completely after I'd already cut some coils, because it was originally an SHS M120. So I cut it down to about an M100. GMP piston, my VFC one stripped because I short-stroked the VFC sector gear by 3 teeth and didn't take any off of the piston, and ended up stripping it. This GMP piston, I did not take any teeth off, but this has 9 teeth on it, I believe. This has 3 less teeth than the VFC, and that's the exact amount that I took off of the sector gear, so it matches perfectly. I'm not sure how long it'll last. I'm hoping that it lasts like forever. It was a really, really worn, a very worn piston. I got it a long time ago. It was in an old gun, and I took it out, and I don't know, the last tooth was the one that was really, really bad. There's 2 metal teeth. The one was really, really worn. So I don't, a worst case scenario, it just releases sooner because that tooth is so worn, but it might already be doing that. I don't know. Classic Army buffer tube. Everything else is VFC. Yeah, I have 2 spare bevels, an XYT bevel and a Classic Army unused bevel, just in case this breaks, because the bevels in these VFCs are not self-shimming. They don't have any like springs on them, so it's just standard 18-1, so I do have spares of that. I do have a spare VFC sector gear that has no short stroking done to it, so if I really want to get that FPS back up, I can just pop it in here, but I like it as it is right now. So here on this test, we're going to test out a few magazines to see if they feed. I have 6 of these mag brand mid caps. One of these, it's a NK mid cap. I love this. And then I have 2 different Vietnam style high caps. One's Echo 1, one's Classic Army. No, one's Classic Army and one is JG. And then I have this like crappy high cap that it's like a shorter style. It came with like a 416 that my friend had. So I'm just going to dry fire it really quick just so. Response is pretty good. It's about 25 rounds a second. It's shimmed pretty good. It's greased fairly good. I ran out of gear grease. Ran out of all the lube, everything I have, so I need to get more of that, but I need to order some more. But anyways, it seems pretty smooth. I do have a set of SHS 12-1s I can throw in here that my friend has. He has yet to give them back. I don't know when I will get them back from him. They're unused. I think I might throw them in here, but if I do throw them in here, I'll have to throw the ball bearing spring guide back in here to give the spring some more power. Maybe I will do that. I'm not exactly sure yet, because you get premature engagement when your gun's shooting super fast, but I think I'm just going to throw the 12-1s in here and do no short stroking on the gear and buy an SHS piston or like an AIM piston, because the AIM pistons are like the exact same thing as the SHS ones, at least the metal tooth ones. I've had them both side by side. They're like the exact same. So let's try, let's do the mag brand mid cap first, because I have 6 of these. See if they feed. .2s, they wouldn't feed with 2.5s, so we'll chrono it here, like halfway through this mag. Okay, seems pretty good. It's chrono it now, 0.2s. Hope you guys can see that. It's pretty bright out. .316.3. Sometimes this chrono's not reading. 317, 319, 319, 317, 315, 318, 314, 318, 319. So about 320s, 315s with 0.2s. Short stroked by 3 teeth, and that's alright compression, and that's not a whole lot of lubricant added. There's like hardly any lubricant in that cylinder set. I did add some RTV sealant on the front of the cylinder head to seal it up. I also put some sorbol on the front of the cylinder head to help with my gearbox shell, because there's a little micro crack on there, so I don't want the shell to crack, so I put some sorbol on there so it won't crack. If I put the 12-to-1s in here, it's going to be full stroke, which will give the it'll put more force on the shell. So we'll see how that works. But feeds pretty well. Didn't have any misfeeds, I don't think. Well, at the end, I think I did. Let's try the A and K bead cap. I don't know how much this holds. It doesn't hold very much. Maybe like 70. I like it because it's metal. The Mag brand ones are alright. They hold a lot more though. At least 40 rounds more. First few shots, barely coming out of the barrel. I've noticed that happens with this mag when it's fully loaded. The first like 4 or 5 shots will barely come out of the barrel, and the rest are fine. So it's shooting pretty good. At this range, it's overhopping just a tad, but I can still hit the targets by aiming down just a tad. Range on this, I would say probably maximum 180, I would say. That mag said, let's just try a little bit of these high packs. I don't want to use any speedies, but this one, the last time I had tested it, which was, I don't even remember. I think I had my old gearbox in this guy, not this one. Looks like it feeds. Try not to use all this stuff. Probably won't use that very much. This magazine will probably just be a magazine for maybe planking around in the backyard, but normally I just want to run a mid-cap through it. Alright, let's try the JG Vietnam high cap, which is the one I was having feeding issues with. See, it just stops shooting. And it doesn't feed until you push the mag forward. Okay, maybe not even then. Not exactly sure what's up with it. I started encountering feeding issues when I got the Aries hop up. Yeah, and it stops shooting when you stop pushing it forward. Feeding issues can depend on a lot of things. It could be if you have a sector tip on your sector gear. It could be your mag well. It could be your hop up. It could be your magazine. It could be your bucking even. So, but it seems like it's just that mag, the way it sits in the mag well. Yeah, because this one feeds fine. And this is Vietnam mag just like that. Probably just bigger, fits well or something, I don't know. Now I don't have a MOSFET in this gun. I was planning to get a MOSFET, and I did get one, but it didn't fit my gun, and yada yada. So I just decided I'll throw the old harness back in there. So I did that. The response time is pretty good. The rate of fire is pretty good because MOSFETs do increase both of those, rate of fire and trigger response. But I'm getting pretty good performance. Now, this is a GMP 10.8, so it does have a lot of voltage. It could possibly burn out the trigger contacts eventually, but I did do some modification to the harness itself, where a lot of times it'll like bend itself, and then when the trolley comes forward and they connect, you have to pull the trigger back even further than normal. So it like bends the contact out of the way, so then you have to pull the trigger way back too far. So what I did is I put a little piece of heat shrink in there, which basically spaces it out so it gives it more space. So if it tries to bend it, it can't. It cannot bend at that hinge point, which is really, really nice. Somebody recommended I did that, and I did that probably maybe 1,000 rounds ago, and I haven't had any issue with the trigger at all, so. Really happy with it. Rate of fire, like I said, is about 25 rounds a second. The chrono, I don't think was picking it up when I tried last time. I don't know. My guess is that it's 25 rounds a second. So, because I mean, my old Classic Army with the 9.6 was 20 rounds a second. My ACR was 30 with an 11.1. So I have a pretty good idea on kind of guessing on rate of fires. Wow, I missed the motor. The motor that I have in here is a ZCI high torque. I can't believe I missed that. That's a huge detail. It's a ZCI high torque, so it gets me that good trigger response. But the rate of fire is pretty low, but I'm still getting 25 rounds a second. And it's because of that short stroke. Because the short stroking brought my rounds a second up at least 3. It's like 1 or 2 rounds a second per teeth you take off. Generally, it depends on a lot of things. It depends on what ratio gears you have, and what spring, and what piston, the amount of teeth on your piston. But anyways, I'm really happy with this gun. Probably won't be doing anything else to it. Externally, I haven't done anything to it in a long time. Last thing was probably 5 months ago. I got this hand stop from my brother, but externally, I'm happy with it. Internally, I might do the SHS 12-to-1s, like I said, with no short stroking, so that'll bring my FPS back up to about 380 with 2s, and my rounds a second should be about 25, maybe a little more, because those are high-speed gears. And I'll probably keep the same spring, but I might get an M110, depends on if I run into premature engagement. That would be bad, that would destroy my piston. And I'll probably put a metal tooth piston in here. You can get metal teeth piston, like a full metal tooth piston for like 12 bucks, so it's really cheap. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. If you have any questions, just comment section, you can ask. And yes, I know my dust cover and forward assist is gone. Doesn't bother me. Anyways, see you guys later.